Welcome to Wrestling with WorldWide Willis. This podcast is brought to you by the LMG Podcast Network. And today we're going to touch on a few different things going on, kind of give you an in between, the reviews, kind of touch up on what we got going on here. So let's touch on matches of the week. I will say, give some shout out to AEW. I thought they put on a really good show with All In. I thought it felt like it feels like they have a little bit of energy. Now, I will say it's not producing crowd. It's not producing crowds or turnouts or things of that nature, but shows are getting better. Certain shows, they do need to cut down the amount of TV they're putting out, right? They shouldn't have a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday schedule, right? The WWE has Monday and Friday, and Tuesday for NXT, but they have the roster to do it, the money to do it, the production capabilities to do it. So it makes sense for WWE. AEW needs to relax. Like, put on 2 shows a week, make them both really good shows, and you'll be good to go. All right. So matches of the week. I really love the Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander match. That was really good, man. Like, two big girls, very physical, can really do a lot of different styles. They're not just big brutes. Like, they can do some fun stuff in the ring. You can tell they have really good chemistry. You can tell they've wrestled against each other before. So that was fun to watch. Like, those two are really good. And I had fun watching them wrestle. I've always really liked Willow Nightingale. I thought Chris Statlander was always impressive. You know what I mean? She isn't Jamie Hayter or anything, but she is impressive. But I've always liked Willow. Willow obviously has been all around the world. Has been in Japan and been in other places. So I think Willow would be perfect for WWE. Honestly, just her personality, her character. Like, she's really good. And she can bring something a little different. You know what I mean? She can wrestle and she brings some character stuff. So that's fun. But I thought this match was really good. I thought it was fun. It was brutal. It was times where you're like, ooh, not in like a botched way, but more like, oh my god, they hit that correctly, but it looked like it hurt, because it was a pretty physical match with a lot of weapons and stuff like that. So that was fun. Shout out to those two women, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Lander. I thought they both were great. Shout out to them. All right, let's talk about um, some of the latest stuff we got going on. So we have probably the biggest story right now is the rivalry between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Their rivalry is the best rivalry of the year. You could argue Swerve and Adam Page, excuse me, in AEW, but I still think Drew and CM Punk's is better right now. They just put so much time into it. It's really good. I mean, Swerve and Adam Page has been up for a while, but this one just feels a little heightened, right? More important. So I think that Drew and CM have just done a great job of keeping it fresh, keep it interesting, and they were doing it for a while without even being able to hop in the ring and settle it, right? So the fact that they can now wrestle is just added bonus. So we got the strap match at Bash of Berlin, where now we're gonna get a cage match, or I'm sorry, a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, which is perfect. That pay per view is almost made for this rivalry, right? Like, that pay per view should almost highlight the probably be one of the highlights of that night. You know what I mean? Those two have great chemistry. We feel like CM Punk is back. CM Punk is doing some great stuff in the ring. Feels like he's back in shape to do what he needs to do at this age, and we always know what Drew's going to give. So I thought, man, I'm excited for this one. No title on, but it doesn't even matter. Like, the rivalry itself is important and what's big. I'm hoping CM Punk gets the W just so he can launch him on to going for titles, going for heavyweight, going for the Intercontinental title, or going for the World Heavyweight title, whichever. Right. I'm hoping it kind of launches him towards that direction. Drew will be fine. Drew can just make it up an excuse and he'll be fine. You know what I mean? Uh, that's kind of built into his character to still be able to bounce back no matter what the loss is. Because he's so believable that he's a threat. It doesn't really matter how many losses he takes, as long as it's not a bad loss, as long as it isn't something crazy, he'll be fine. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for that rivalry. Next, we have Sami Zayn. Now, man, Sami Zayn is like the cockroach you can't ever get rid of. Shout out to him. Sammy's great, but man, like, why are we having Sami Zayn challenge Gunther? Yeah, we know he got lucky and beat him at WrestleMania, but I think we all know, like, 9 times out of 10, Sammy's getting squashed by Gunther. So to have him immediately come back and challenge for the title when Sammy just lost the Intercontinental title, it just seems, I don't know, it seems like you're running out of main eventers, or you're, and I really don't think they are, but it just feels that way with the decision. Like somebody else could have stepped into this role. I think I do think right now they need some more baby faces on Monday Night Raw who can challenge for the title, which I think CM Punk's on the way. CM Punk can do that. You got Jay Uso, others, but there's not that many right now. There's more villains than baby faces, so they need to build somebody on Raw. They got a few on on SmackDown, but not on Raw. So I'm excited to see how they work that out. But yeah, to have it's obviously we saw with Bret Hart coming out there and Gunther approaching him and kind of standing up to him. I still think Gunther's mic work is the most underrated. He's the most improved player if it comes to mic work. Gunther I always thought was solid on the mic. He was never bad, but he wasn't great either. But now he's becoming great on the mic. We already know what he can do in the ring when the bell rings, but what he's doing on the mic during promos is amazing. Like he has so much heat with the crowd because the stuff he's saying, the way he's saying it, the delivery, the all of it, he's killing it right now. So I'm happy to see Gunther kind of take that next step to becoming a main event Hall of Fame level person, level wrestler, because now you can't poke holes in his game, right? We know he's the Terminator when you get in the ring, but outside of the ring, we didn't know what he could he carry his own? Would he have to have Ludwig Kaiser speak for him all the time? But now, shoot, when he grabs a microphone, you feel good. It's honestly him and Drew McIntyre are fighting for most improved promo in WWE right now. Seriously, like Gunther and Drew McIntyre have become a must watch when it comes to promo work in WWE right now. That's major. You know what I mean? Two big guys who are like big, strong, can handle themselves in the ring, can dominate in the ring, but can also get on the mic and do a great job. That's rare. It's highly rare to see. Doesn't happen very often. Like if you think about in wrestling history, think of the biggest wrestlers who were good, not really that good at promos. So this is a special talent for Drew and Gunther, but I'm excited for the match at least. Now, I will say Sammy requested a match with Gunther for the World Heavyweight title because Gunther said no in front of Bret Hart and Sammy. Now, I'm thinking that GMs will get involved and Gunther will be required to take that match, but it's neither here nor there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see about that one. We finally got the Judgment Day to get a upper hand on the Terror Twins and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. The Damian Priest and Rhea were whooping their tail for weeks, like no fight back, just getting a tail whooped. So it is nice to see Judgment Day get the one up, get some payback, look like a legitimate team again. That was good. That was smart. They probably should have did that earlier. But yeah, I'm wondering how the Terror Twins will even the odds. Looks like they're going to add Jay Uso to the mix of their little temporary allegiance and just to fight against Judgment Day. But I wonder who else they're going to get. You know what I mean? To match up with Judgment Day. That's going to be fun to see. But yeah, it was brutal what they did to them. Like to see Damian Priest covering up Rhea Ripley while he's getting hit with a cane or whatever. Like, or was it he got hit with something. I can't remember if it was a kendo stick or a walker. I can't remember, but yeah, it was really good. It looked brutal. They did a really good job selling it. Um, then we have Cody versus Solo in a steel cage. Now, this match I'm not as interested in. I believe this is going to be a bad blood. I'm not as interested in this only because I don't think Solo is up for the occasion as far as the type of match that he needs to have. I think Jacob Fatu is going to get involved, going to get in the cage somehow, help Solo out, and then I think Roman's coming. Roman's on the way, I think. So that'll be fun to see. You always fun when you see a Roman sighting, but yeah, I think that could be a really fun one. I don't think Cody's going to lose it all. I think he's going to keep the title until someone legitimately takes it away from him. But you never know. You never really know. Um, Next, we have Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. So we had the qualifying match for the Intercontinental title or Intercontinental contender, and Jey Uso won it. Jey Uso is going to go against Braun Breaker, not at Bad Blood, but at a SmackDown event, and it'll be fun. You know what I mean? I think Jey brings an interesting style. I think Braun brings a style that Jey can't emulate anywhere. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see that matchup. Um, I think Braun Breaker comes out with the victory, but I am excited to see, what comes after that. Um, and I do think Braun Breakers just has the ability to go on a run, not necessarily a Gunther type of run, but with the roster that Monday Night Raw has right now, he could definitely go on a long run. Um, then we had Gilia in NXT. She arrived. We didn't get to talk about it last week because we had our review, and it was happening at the same time with NXT No Mercy while we were recording. But Gilia, I think she's great in the ring. She obviously has a great looks. She's a beautiful woman, and I think she's going to do some great things in NXT. I'm glad they went the NXT route and not just straight to it, because people were saying like she shouldn't have to go to NXT, but it's like everybody's the same. You shouldn't get in. You know what I mean? Just and make her swim on her own rather than just giving her some training, give her some time to get used to WWE, to the cameras, to the TV schedule, all that stuff. So I'm excited to see her going against Roxanne or whoever she faces first. I think she's a top tier talent, and so far they haven't really missed with anybody from Japan. So I think Io Sky's amazing. You know what I mean? Plenty of them out there that are amazing. So that'll be just fun to see. Um, and it seemed like ever since she's all her entrances feel important. All of her entrances feel like they mean something, like something big is happening. So I think she's gonna bring that level of importance, that level of warrior to the women's NXT division, which is loaded with a lot of young talent, but not a lot of young indie talent. They got a lot of young athletes who are great at what they did athletically in college, but now they're in the WWE. Regalia made a name for herself over in Japan, so she'll be ready to go. Um, I do want to talk about Jada Parker. Jada Parker, obviously, we know how good she looks in NXT, but I thought she looked great against the match against Roxanne. Like at No Mercy, I thought she was amazing. I thought both women were great. I thought they both put on an amazing match. I was actually watching it, and I was just like, man, like I didn't know Jada Parker had this in her. I didn't know she was this good of, you know, this good in the ring so fast. And yeah, it was really exciting to see her finally get to shine on the big stage and get to go against the women's world champion in NXT. I thought she did a great job. They had a great match. Then I just want to talk about NXT for a sec. It's just crazy how NXT has been on top of all the trends, have went out there and got some people from TNA who everybody wants to see, not just TNA fans. You know what I mean? People who have crossed over. And I think NXT is just doing it at a high level. Whether it's Shawn Michaels handling everything, whether it's Ava handling the GM role, she's done it as well or better than anybody else. I thought she's great. Um, but yeah, NXT, man, it's just fun to see. They got some really good champions. Ethan Page, you got you got Ethan Page, you have Femi, the North American champion. You have, you know what I mean? You have some fun champs who are fun to be around, fun to watch. So I'm excited to see Femi continue to grow. That way he can get up in the NXT roster and be a real problem for folks. I also love that in it they're using people who were former NXT guys to go out there and still put on a show, maybe not get the win, but to make other teams look really good and look legitimate. Um, again, NXT's killing it. I'm excited for that. I think Joe Hendry has brought a level of excitement that we just haven't seen in general. Like I see people out in the world just singing, "Say his name and he'll appear. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry." You know what I mean? Like I hear people singing that stuff all the time. We're not even in a wrestling context, just singing. And I'm like, man, this is hit. This is really did a good job, you know. So and his stuff is so catchy and everything. Like I just thought he's done a great job. But um yeah, it's just interesting that NXT is just capturing Trick Williams, for example, captured the culture, right? Whoop that trick, you know. And just it just seems like NXT is moving in such a bright direction under Shawn Michaels, and they've just been unapologetic about how good they are, and the type of program they want to put on. And they're doing crossovers with TNA, like it's just groundbreaking type of stuff going over in NXT, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here because I think there's some shocks coming up. I think there's some new free agents coming up. Like NXT is a viable option now. Like it used to be, I don't want to go to NXT. I don't want to have to go to development and all that stuff. Where now it's like, man, I want to go over to NXT. I want to go over to WWE and NXT because they're going to treat me right. I'm gonna get an opportunity early to do something, and it reflects well because Triple H is an NXT guy. Shawn Michaels is an NXT guy. So if I do well in one place, I feel like do well in the other. So yeah, folks, right now there isn't a ton going on. However, hit me up if you got any questions. Hit me up if you think anything about the latest matchups for Bad Blood. What else might be there? I'm pretty sure we'll get a Judgment Day maybe match related to something, maybe Damian Priest versus Finn or something to that nature. We'll see. But there's going to be some way more matches added to this pay per view, and Bad Blood it just sounds like a really cool pay per view, and the rollout for it has been good. So I think it'll be very, very, very entertaining, very entertaining. But folks, this is a quick one. Again, let me know if you feel a type of way about anything. I do want to talk about Jacob Fatu. All the people out there, the Bloodline, killing it right now. And shout out to AEW again. They're doing all right. They're doing okay. Now the ticket numbers aren't reflecting that, but it feels like the energy around it is a little different. And they're starting to see some real big players playing again, wrestling again. And I think AEW has a chance to recover back to what they were in 2019, 2020, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. They're going to have to make some decisions, cut the roster down a little bit, and focus on some things. And so, again, I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you locking in with me. I think Bad Blood, the upcoming PLE, is going to be really good. I think we'll be filled with some rivalries, men's and women's side, that are going to really cement the pay per view to where we have Bad Blood potentially every year. You never know. But until next time, folks, we out. Yeah.